everybody. Now it's time to welcome Schneider Electric and ARVIN Pitt for his presentation. I will
I think we have an issue with sound for Frédéric. Can you hear me when I talk here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what I suggest, maybe Frédéric has an issue with her own computer. We are glad to welcome ARVIN Pitt from Schneider Electric, who will present their experience with remote management, in which they also use the Dynamics 365 remote assist solution. So ARVIN, I suggest that you start, and we hope that Frédéric will be back with us soon.
No problem. Thanks, Eric. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Microsoft and Laval World, to present here in this conference with you today. So I'll introduce myself a little bit. So I work in the IoT solutions activity for Schneider Electric, and I look after offers. So I'm an offer manager of industrial augmented reality and secure remote connectivity. I wanted to say that before working for Schneider, I was also a customer of Schneider, where I was a manufacturer of machinery for the food industry. And today I'll be presenting about remote management and how Schneider Electric is both a client and a customer, a partner with Microsoft for this endeavor together. A little bit about Schneider Electric for those of you who don't know about us. So we're very proud to be a growing technology company providing energy and automation digital solutions for efficiency and sustainability for our customers around the world. And we have a strong commitment for innovation to primary businesses in industrial automation and in energy management with a well-balanced presence around the globe. And together with Microsoft, we've been working together for the past 30 years in a co-innovation partnership where we together on a global open platform and technology and our different domain expertise to sustainably drive our business in a mutual way. To give a bit of a focus on the remote management, I wanted to start by setting the scene to say, how do we diagnose operations? This would be let's say the before state, or even today, it could also be a state which is out there in industry, where we we do the initial diagnostic by the person at the site that gets notified into the supplier. And generally, that takes a day or so, and then from there on, there's a number of exchanges between the supplier and the operator or the maintenance engineer at the site, trying to establish what is the real problem based on that report. Do I need to travel? Which spare parts do I need? There's a lot of exchanges which ensue, and that occupies, again, quite a bit of time. And we finally get to the result where we're executing the task on site, where we've identified the correct spare parts and procedures to carry out that task. And generally, that takes around 7 days, on average, based on different research that I've done during the development of products. So that's quite a lot of downtime for that operation. What we're bringing with the remote management is a way to do that in a different sense. So this way, we have the person at the site who reports the issue. Once again, the help desk now no longer needs to think about what do I do with this request. He will directly pass it on to a remote expert who will look to analyze that issue straight away. That expert at the supplier will then connect to both the operator and the machine through a networking way to do a rapid and accurate diagnostic. So right from the get-go, and within only a matter of hours, we can identify, what is the right spare part that we need, do we have it in stock, and what procedure will we require to execute at the site to get that job done. And then executing that task on site, we can often do that with the personnel on the site, because we can guide them remotely and do procedures remotely to get the job done, to guarantee the success of getting the operation up and running. And we found that that can be greatly reduced in time. And generally, we're talking around 4 hours, based on if we have the spare parts, etc., and then the type of job that needs to be done. So what does it involve inside that remote management solution? So I bring 2 products to the market. So we have EcoStruxure Secure Connect Advisor and EcoStruxure Augmented Operator Advisor. And I'll spend a couple of minutes to detail what those 2 are and how they fit into the remote management solution. EcoStruxure Secure Connect Advisor is a solution that allows remote experts to cybersecurely connect to that asset inside their operation and do programming and diagnostics as if they were on site. And they can use their normal programming tools and connect into the different machine values and multiple domain values that they need to do the accurate diagnostic as if they were on site. And we offer that through an embedded software inside our HMI, which is generally already available out there in industry. So our customers can also activate that as a service that they can then provide to their customers. The Augmented Operator Advisor, this is a solution which runs on tablets or smartphones, which enables us to improve efficiency of operations on site by bringing all the information that's required to the operator's fingertips using those digital aids. And it improves the on-site operations and also provides off-site expertise. I wanted to emphasize that it's very simple to put in place, so the speed is key. It works using image recognition techniques. So we take 3 different pictures of the particular object, as I'm showing here. We take 30-degree intervals of the machine, the plant, the object, 30 degrees either side. That enables us to have stable image detection of the object, and it doesn't require to have a specific knowledge of CAD tools, laser scan, and also it enables a quick deployment and retrofit in existing industrial applications. We offer not only the tool that executes for the operator, but also the software to create that augmented operator project. So this enables our customers to master the augmented reality lifecycle, because they have a control over the tool, which gives them the opportunity to change the project during the factories are living places. Things change and they can modify that as they require. It's a very simple, as I mentioned, project to put in place, which we say we build first using the Builder tool, which is an online Builder tool hosted in the Azure space, where we can gather all the data required, the augmented reality pictures, and put them together and build the project. Then on the site, we install the compiled project and commission it with some, adjustments depending on the installation, and then we execute it on the mobile device. I wanted to stress, architecturally, that we collect the data from the connected products, and it's important to note that we not only accept the data from Schneider Electric devices, but also all third-party, and we're very open in the way we connect through to different sensors, intelligent devices in the machine and plant, and we concentrate that in the edge control layer using an industrial PC. And the industrial PC then connects wirelessly through to the tablet, the mobile device, where there is the Augmented Operator Advisor software. What does it look like on the application? So this is an example screen. where we're looking at a pump room and we overlay on top of that real world, the augmented information. So, is the real-time variable values coming from the automation system? Is the pump running or not running? What is the flow rate? And then based on dynamic triggers, we can then overlay more advanced points of interest that show, for example, that there's a warning or there's a problem with that pump or this pump. You can go further by looking at your data sheets and information about a particular product. And we have shortcuts on the top right there, which we call remote experts. An intelligent link to use the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Remote Assist app, and it's integrated into our software, which I'll now detail. The remote experts find those when we use our builder software, so we can, for example, select, what is the right expert for the right type of task. So generally, is it a hydraulic problem, is it a pneumatic problem or electrical problem? We can define those experts in the software. And then in the execution time from the tablet, the person can call the experts directly from the augmented reality, and that goes through to Teams on their PC. I would have loved to have shown you a video here, so I've just taken a few screenshots so it'll be nice and fluid for this virtual world. And I'll give a link at the end so you can have a look at the video. So this is our builder software where we have an interface to put in the remote experts, which we simply define the person's expert ID, which is related to their Teams account. Then we, once the project is compiled and running on the site, we access that project through the tablet or the mobile device. And we see in the top right-hand corner that icon, which looks like a headset, and that displays a list of the different experts, where we select the expert to call. It will then switch automatically to the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Remote Assist app, and they can start that call. And it will link through to Teams, which is on the expert's PC. And they can have a rich interaction in augmented reality with annotations, which means that they can get that job done together to get the machine up and running and reduce their downtime in their operation. There's a link here and a QR code if you'd want to have a look at the full video, which is on YouTube. So in a nutshell, what I wanted to present to you today, and I'm open to any questions, Frédéric.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. So I would be happy to ask you a couple of them. The first one would be, why did you choose Microsoft Remote Assist solution?
Well, I mentioned earlier that we have a historical partnership and when working together, but surely that wasn't enough. We also did a partnership study by our R&D, where we looked at a large number of the different startups and large companies, and we found that it was quite interesting for us that Teams was part of the equation when we're using remote assist, because half of the equation is already solved, where our experts generally use Office 365 in their daily lives, and it's very well known in the market. And it means that in the ecosystem of people who need to get that job done, so from both maybe the initial supplier or a system integrator that might need to help in that diagnostic, they can work together using Teams, and it has a worldwide availability.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And another question would be, is your solution commercially available now?
Yes. So we started beta testing at the end of last year. So this was developed in 2019. And then we did a public release on the 3rd of March this year. So it's available on the market. Okay.
And do you know if you came across success stories with this offer?
Yes, so it was released, quite recently, only on the 3rd of March. So we have initial successes with some mining customers in the Pacific region who've been very interested, especially in the remote assist aspect. So they were interested in our offer previously, but the fact that we brought in this collaboration to provide remote assistance through the application, that was particularly interesting to them. And we also are using it in our own factories. It's part of our internal smart factory concept, where me as a marketing manager, I work with them on co-creation. It allows me to have a privileged customer interaction and understand the real gains that our customers will have. It's a bit of an eat your own food approach, where I can work with them and we can see for example, that 60% of stoppages have been diagnosed.
Oops. I guess we lost Arvin.
Yes.
So maybe while he comes back, I see some questions in the chat, and maybe one that Adrien could answer. A question from Ismo: how do you anchor the AR data in a plant environment?
Oh, Adrien is obviously not connected.
Okay, Arvin, are you back? No, we don't see that. So Jan, I see your question about data privacy that maybe I can answer. It is true that sometimes industries are reluctant to share their data with the suppliers. What we see is that what counts is to be as much transparent about the management of data on our platforms with public compliance and agreement with the GDPR regulations around the world. Certainly, it needs a lot of education and discussion with the team at clients, including their legal departments. But we see growing acceptance, especially when we show very clearly that we provide the platform, but that the client is the owner of data with all the security capabilities. And we also sometimes provide hybrid environments where the client can keep some data on the premises. And it's also important for the performance of solutions to avoid having too much data traveling. We can say, for example, that when it comes to artificial intelligence and machine learning, we try to have data staying on the devices and deploying the algorithm of artificial intelligence so that they can run on the device without having the data being transferred on a cloud platform. I see a question from Florian on the acceptability of users in remote. Well, what we do see, especially in these very special times with confinement, and it's part of the Schneider solution, is, for example, the remote assist solution can be used with a smartphone. So obviously you have a richer experience with a full mixed reality HoloLens headset, but you can also have good acceptable VR interactions and experts at a distance with the technician on the field having just a smartphone, and that obviously is more common now, and people know how to use a smartphone.
Okay, great.
I might be back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, guys. Sorry about that. I just got kicked out of the.
Okay. So Arvin, there was a question for you from Pierre Novaki related to master data management, and his question was whether your solution is linked with your own MDM or if you are using a third-party equipment?
So it depends which data I suppose you're talking about. So for the builder, we host that on the on a specific Schneider area on the Azure platform. So the data is protected, in a normal way to Azure as far as the building of the project is concerned. From there, the execution on site runs on the industrial PC, as I mentioned. So that is up to the customer to protect their industrial PC and their environment. And it can run totally local, therefore, as a Wi-Fi connection to that machine, and they can activate the the external connectivity to the internet when they require to do the remote expertise using the remote assist.
And maybe another question on which I started to answer, but input would be good. Question from Yann Jobert related to data privacy, and industries are sometimes reluctant to share their data with the equipment suppliers. How is it going for you and your customers related to this data sharing?
Okay, so the customers are generally in control of what data they share. When they do this remote management, as I mentioned, there was two software tools here with the Secure Connect, the remote connectivity, where they can connect really to the actual machine and look at inside the machine data. There, they have control over precisely what access they give to that external company. That is a major concern, and in some companies where they have a lot more concern over that, the default state is that the connection is not available, and they open that connection during the diagnostic procedure, and then they control what's being done, and then they remove the connectivity after that time. For the remote assist, generally it's by a camera, chat, and annotations. So generally there's limited issues as far as sharing there. It's up to the operators not to point the camera at places which are confidential.
Yeah, good point about pointing the camera. Yeah. Frédéric, maybe you had another question.
Yes. My last question was about did you benefit from the special offers with Microsoft offers, which are linked to the current crisis?
I actually want to check with you. Did I finish well your previous question? Because I got.
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So yes, so we saw and were notified by Microsoft about the offer at the moment for Dynamics 365 Remote Assist. So thank you very much for launching this offer. And as we launched our product on the 3rd of March, with the support for that, it worked out really well. That we're able to accelerate our pilot deployment by using advantage of that offer. And I've also shared the news in my community, which is helping out a lot of our customers as well during this time.
Great.
Yes, thank you. And for the audience, it is true that during those very special times, we have extended for our clients the ability to use remote assist as a free offer during several months, because in many cases they have to use remote solutions for the technicians. Adrien, I see that you're back, and maybe a question for you, a bit more technical. Maybe Arvin will have something from Ismo Likonen, who was asking, how do we anchor the AR in a plant environment?
Okay, so I can answer from how we operate with our current solution using the image recognition techniques. So as I mentioned, we take 3 pictures of the industrial environment, be it machine or a plant. Might be a production line, etc., depending on the scale. And then in our builder tool, we make a relation between the image detection and where we want to place our point of interest markers. So that's what's done in the builder, and then inside the application running on the mobile device, it will do the same image recognition based on the camera feed coming in, and then it will apply those points of interest based on the knowledge from the builder application that was built previously. Covers your question.
Yeah, thanks. And Pierre, I see your question. We did not mention HoloLens, but the Dynamics 365 Remote Assist is indeed available on HoloLens and also on tablets and phones. For the remote management solution, Arvin, maybe you can explain whether it does include HoloLens or is it mostly tablets? I think it's mostly tablet.
Yes, so our commercialized offer today is on mobile phones and on tablets. I just caught the end of your discussion, Eric, as I come back in the room. And so we've found that there is a very strong proportion of those types of devices in factories today. So it allows us to have a very quick and easy road to installing this type of solution into factories. Obviously, there's an element which is not so good with the mobile devices, which is the hands-free element, and this comes through wearable devices. So it's definitely in our radar and in our innovation projects to go towards wearable devices.
Thank you very much. Eric, do you have another question on the chat box?
No, I think it's good. Adrian Tamas is just asking if the PDF presentation will be available.
Questions for me?
Or for the so first, I think it's for you whether there is confidential information that would prevent from it. But I think that if you are okay, then certainly there will be a technical way to get the PDF.
Yeah, I don't know how the other presenters have been sharing their presentations, but I presume we'll follow the same as the others.
Yes, we will catch up with that. No problem, no worries. Okay.
I wanted to just change the slide because I had a last slide to show that we have a 42-day free trial which is available, which I don't seem to be able to show you. I'll try and get that running, which is available off our website, and enables you to do a full test of the full software inside your own environment. And that, coupled with the trial which is offered by Dynamics 365 Remote Assist, you'll be able to test the full remote solution.
Okay, thank you very much, Arvin. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Arvin.
No problem. Thanks for having me and inviting me to participate in the virtual world with you.
And if there is, if you have some more questions, you can find Arvin at the Microsoft conference room, in the Microsoft conference room, just on the right hand side, for a couple of more questions or talks, individual talks, if you want to. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. Merci, Frédéric. Bye-bye.
I got the